Hello, and welcome to Module 5 of the Linux Workshop. In this module, we'll learn how to do remote access and transfer files using the Linux terminal. So remote access is really important to know how to do. A lot of times you'll be doing your computation on servers where you don't have a physical system, so you can't go through the GUI. It's really simple. To get into a remote computer, you use the command, my apologies, you use the command SSH, and then your username, and then at the address of the computer, which would be the name of the computer. In this example, I'm actually going to be SSHing into my MacBook that I'm running my VirtualBox off of right now. But it can be another physical computer too. You don't have to you don't just have to SSH into your same computer. So this was the wrong address. I need to add an S here. And so the first time that you connect to a host, you'll get this prompt, and you want to say yes. And now it's going to ask the password for the computer that you're trying to SSH into. So you need to know your password, and you need to know the address of the computer, which will go here, and your username on that computer. And so my password. Okay, and so now I'm on my MacBook, but I'm on the Mac side, not the Linux side. So these are my files that are in my main directory. So to get out of a server, you simply say exit, and now I'm back in my Linux box. Now, one thing I do want to note that a lot of the computers on campus, you may run into the issue of a port. So you may only be able to connect to it via a certain port number, and so if that's the case, for instance, if you need to connect to port 222, which all of this should be available by your network administrator, then you use the -P flag, and then you give it the port number, and then it will connect on the right port for you. So that's remote access. Now, the other important thing is being able to transfer files from your local computer onto the remote server and back again. So there's two ways to do this. The first I'll show you is called scopy, and so it's just SCP. And so if you want to copy, say I want to copy my test_fastq from my Linux side to my Mac side, I say scopy test.fastq, so the file on my local computer. And now I give it the destination, just like if you're going to use copy. But the destination is going to look a little bit different. So I want to say Casey at Casey's and MacBookPro.lan. And then I want to say : /. So after this colon is where in the file system you want to physically copy this file. So // is just going to put it in my home directory, but I don't have to put it there. I can put it in my downloads, which is what I'll do. And so when I hit enter, it's going to ask me for my password on my MacBook or my remote server. And so now it's transferred over. To check this, well, I can SSH back into it. Let's just do it that way. So SSH. Oh, that's the wrong one. Casey. Okay, and give it my password. And now ILS here, I don't see it, but I need to go into my downloads. And here I have a lot, but you'll see that this test.fastq is there. Okay, and another thing about Macs is that a lot of the commands that you use in Linux are also applicable to Mac. So you notice I'm in my MacBook right now. I can still use ls, I am using cd and clear, so a lot of it is very similar. I'm going to exit my remote server. So that's scopy. Now if you want to go the opposite way, say I want to copy that test.fastq from my MacBook to this local computer, I will say scopy, and I know it's in my downloads, test.fastq, and then if I want to download it here, I just say dot, and then I give it my password, and now I've downloaded this to my local computer. So easy as that. The downfall of scopy is that you need to know exactly where your file is. You don't get to explore you'd have to SSH in, find your file, come back to your local computer, and then scopy the file from where it is on that to where you want it to go here. So to get around that, if you want a little bit more flexibility, you can use sftp. So sftp is another file transfer protocol, and so the starting command to start up the sftp is similar to SSH. Give it my password. So if you mess up on your password, it will prompt you again, but I think after a couple tries, it will disconnect you. So now you see this prompt come in. It says sftp. So if I do an ls, you can see that this kind of behaves just like SSH. Now I can see all my files that are on my remote server. And so, but the commands are a little bit different. For instance, if I want to, let's see, how about this one? If I want to get this file, test11.txt, and get it from the remote server and put it on my local machine, I can say git test11.txt, and now you can see that I now have that file. Now if I want to put a file from my local machine to the server, so transfer it that way, I use the command put, and so I can say put, and then let's use edited.fastq. So I want to put edited.fastq, enter. Okay, so now if I ls, and it is here somewhere, here it is. So now this file is indeed on the remote server. And to get out, I believe it's exit, and now I'm back in my Linux system. So those are two easy ways to transfer files and to get remote access to a computer. That's it for this module. I hope to see you next time.